actually get some off here, maybe? One more.
In this video, I'll be going against to draw in a 1v1 battle and talking about the current game situation, just fun, friendly battles here and there. So watch the video till the end because this video is going to be really awesome, so let's get right into it. Alright, so here we are with draw in a matchup where we're gonna play with a few of the decks we like, with Railen, then TWILIGHT Longbows, and we're gonna be talking about the current game state, and it's just gonna be a really fun, nice battle. So how are you doing, Dro?
How's it going? I'm doing good. Excited to get into some of these custom matches. I've been enjoying the TWILIGHT Longbows. The new patch notes are really nice, so let's see what we can do. Triple Legendary.
Yep.
Very interesting.
Yep, that's a very expensive deck.
Ultimate Strike too.
Yes.
What were your first thoughts on the TWILIGHT Longbows when they came out?
Apparently, I love a TWILIGHT Elves types card. Then there's any kind of Elves card. It's just like my favorite cards in Kingdom Rush games, to say the least. I was very happy to actually just see that there is a Elves card getting added, which also means that in future we will get to see Elven Arena, which is confirmed. I'm really happy to hear that. But yes, it's actually fun. I really love this tower.
Definitely. I remember you saying that in our last video. I was really excited for this tower as well. I remember when the game first came out, a lot of our Discord was talking about possible tower ideas, and this is one that I was really excited about, so I'm excited to see that we got it this early.
Yeah.
I've been using Paladins a lot now. That was not something that I used in the past, but I think with the Forsaken Valley changes and using Magnus a lot more, the Paladins have been one of my favorite towers to use.
I still haven't used Paladins, but I have been starting myself using the Sorcerer more now, after the release of TWILIGHT Longbows.
Yeah, Sorcerer is another one that a lot of people are using. It's so nice for helping with that armor pierce with the longbows.
Yep.
Now, I don't usually use Blazing Gem in Stadium, but I've seen some crazy things with it in custom matches, so that's why I'm running it here.
Yes, I think I usually use Blazing Gem in Stadium, apparently. I use it with Glacial Druid to slow down enemies and then just waiting for the boss to get melted. It works as long as I am in, I would consider, Silver League. Then the bosses are harder to kill with the Blazing Gem, so I usually avoid using that.
Yeah, definitely. For me, I feel like it's hard to lock on to the specific targets, but I do think in custom matches it's a little bit easier for me to clear out the troops.
Yeah. As you have, I would guess you have played Kingdom Rush Alliance. What else tower from Kingdom Rush Alliance would you like to have? I think we asked this question last time, but as we were seeing Alliance towers also being added, I wanted to ask this question again.
Yeah, definitely. The Demon Pit is definitely still high on my radar for cards that I would like to see. Because it doesn't have to be a crazy card. I think that would be a really good addition as like a common or rare card to have as like a supporting Verax. Otherwise, I think Dwarven Flamespitter could be very interesting, kind of like a unique type of artillery. Towers that kind of have like unique properties. What I really like about the longbows is that they have the support blades. So like that's my favorite part of the tower easily. And I'd like to see more stuff like that where you kind of have like hybrid towers, because I feel like it allows different synergies for new cards.
Definitely. Apparently, I don't think the second ability is that worth it to get unless your opponent is in a very tight situation where he may just need himself to get his ability activated about his hero to get out of that situation. For an example, Beresad. His scream is actually very clutch in many of the situations. So in those situations, I think this ability can be good. Yet still, I don't think it's as effective as the support blades. I think support blades are probably really good about this tower, to say the least.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that I like something about the second tower or the second skill that I really like is that it's not like sniper shots where you're just like taking out the dragon necessarily, but you're disabling it. So I feel like it's a little bit more fair from your opponent's side as well. You don't feel like you're completely disabled when you're getting that arrow on like a dragon per se, but it is really effective when you stack it on something like Ice Sculpt. You just have to heavy invest in that, and then I feel like I can't get the support blades down, so you do have to kind of pick between one or the other, depending on the matchup.
Yeah.
In most cases, I agree. I think the support blades are the way to go.
Also, what are your thoughts on the Juggernaut? Have you faced him so far?
So I faced him once, and unfortunately it was in a map where it was I had smoke bombs on my map, and I could barely even see anything. So I did get kind of mopped by an Archmage player. But it was really cool to see the different skills that he had, like spawning the minions. And I do wish that his character was a little bit bigger. I know a lot of people said that he looks kind of small, but I can understand if they made him smaller to make sure that he wouldn't like block towers.
That's a good reason, not gonna lie. Yet so far, I think Juggernaut is quite weak compared to the flying boss, the Zeppelin. Zeppelin is more harder to defeat compared to the Juggernaut. Juggernaut doesn't seem to be that threatful compared to other bosses. At least I have faced him 2 or 3 times, and that's my experience.
Yeah, definitely fair. I don't think I've played him enough to have a fair assumption on how good he is yet. I would like to encounter him more though. Forsaken Valley is just really difficult in general, so it's harder to encounter him. So you see with the battle mecha here, it's going to make it so that my guys cannot respawn on top of not having anything to stop the JT, really. And then the blizzards are coming in.
Apparently, I think the deck I'm using at the moment is Woking because I had Barasad and I got the Merchant of Deaths as my ability, which helped a lot.
Definitely. You can see like the power of having the battle mecha keep the towers up also did so much damage to the JT. Very nicely played.
GG's.
Do you have any of the new emotes?
Oh yes, I apparently I have every single emote which has released except the Barasad one. I need to reach there. I was about to reach it last season, but then my exams came in out of nowhere and I had to stop playing for a while and I couldn't get it, but luckily I can still get it.
Yeah, fair. Same with me. I didn't end up getting the Barasad emote either.
Last time we forgot to talk about Railen because we couldn't record, but today we're going to talk about it. What are your thoughts on Railen?
Yeah, definitely. And so Railen is definitely probably the best melee hero right now. What I really like about her is that she has that stun ability. And for me, I feel like that allows me to not have to take a utility spell like stun or icy zone all the time. And I can invest a little bit more in damage, which is really nice.
Yes.
And even though she's like a rare hero, I definitely think that she's usable. I think she's probably top 4 heroes in Stadium right now.
Yeah,
and I was having a lot of fun with her last season.
Apparently Railen is my second favorite hero in the game, probably even first favorite hero in the game so far, because I have had a lot of fun using Railen. Because when you have Railen on around level 8, 9, she deals so much damage. So you can actually just get rid of majority of the ground enemies with so much ease,
Yeah, definitely.
which is so great.
Yeah, and I have her level 8 right now, and I definitely think she's like manageable to use at level 8, and it doesn't take too much to get her there.
Yeah.
I definitely think that having Forsaken Valley scaled down a little bit is a lot better for the level 8 players. Like, people are actually starting to reach Stadium a lot more now. And I can see how it's maybe a little bit too easy for the higher level people. But I think that'll get fleshed out over time when they add new arenas. That's when they can start to add like more difficult stuff. For now, I just think it's a little bit too early. But it is nice to see that they're at least thinking about increasing that difficulty over time.
Yeah. The only thing Railen cannot do is hit flyer enemies, so the only way to counter her is flying enemies, I would guess.
Yeah. That's the one difficult thing about melee heroes in general. Even some bosses like the Kingpin, I think, who can just run through anything that's melee can be kind of tough.
True.
But I think that if you support her with other towers, it makes it a little bit easier. The Glacial Druid is just so nice for stalling Kingpin, so you can use Glacial Druid. Or something like Archery Scouts I really like.
Yeah. In Kingdom Rush battles, what hero in tower do you think is the most underrated at the moment?
Underrated. I think that if you're a player that doesn't have much right now, I think either Allura or Hacksaw is really good. I think specifically if you're in Bandit Slayer, Hacksaw can help a lot of people out, mainly because he has the almost one-shot ability every single time, can be really nice against Crusaders if you line it up correctly. And I think that's also really good for helping new players learn cooldowns. So like, for example, with Magnus, I've been using his AoE skill with Polymorph, and I try and make sure that that gets lined up every single time. That really saved me when playing against like Archmage players, for example. I have nothing against people who are using Archmage, but I know there's a lot of people who want to try and counter that playstyle, and that's the most effective way I've found to do it. So I think trying to find heroes that synergize with other cards is the best way to do it. For an underrated tower, it's difficult. I actually think Holy Sanctuary is kind of underrated right now. I've seen it be able to deflect, like Flaming Fate Booster is really good right now, or if you're going up against an Ashbite. I think Ashbite is not great, but if you pair him up with Flaming Fate, it can do a lot of damage, and then Holy Sanctuary can completely counter that.
Yeah. I really like to pair up Holy Sanctuary with Railen, because whenever she goes low on health, I can just use her to heal her up again, which is really nice.
Yeah, definitely. And Railen already has so much armor, which is really nice.
Yeah. Apparently she can stall bosses, if you have noticed. Any boss like Aino the Beastkeeper, then there is Krumtuk, and a few other bosses can just be stalled by Railen so well enough, and it's amazing.
And that's another thing I kind of wish that we had deck selection for, is that I feel like if we got one of those maps, and we have the knowledge of knowing that Railen is really good on that map, you can pick Railen and you don't feel like you have to have a Magnus or a Barisat every single time. But that's the main reason I've been running Magnus right now, is because I feel like since we do have to deal with the Forsaken Valley maps, that's why she's not in my deck all the time.
That's fair.
But if you're going to run a melee hero, I'd definitely run her.
Yeah.
Especially with Paladins and Twilight Longbows now. I haven't tried it in Stadium personally. That was just from my experience from last season. She can definitely do a lot more now.
Apparently the meta in private games and in actual game is quite different, which I have noticed, because in private matches everything is equally balanced, so you really don't need to worry about all of the levels and what cards you're using, if it's actually high level or not. You can just use it, and everything will be equally according to each of the level sides, I would consider, according to your opponent too. That is actually really nice to have, and just because of that reason, I have also noticed few cards work really well in private matchmaking. For an example, Railen herself, then there is Blazing Jam, then there is Rocket Gunners. All of these just work so well, but in actual meta they're quite hard to use, because in the game, I think at the moment, legendaries are not bad. They are just not that much worth it to use in higher level, because they're hard to level up. So in higher level, the scaling has also been increased according to each of the leagues, which definitely makes things more tougher at having a Railen, or let's say a legendary Blazing Gem at level 8, and you're fighting a boss in Gold League. You won't be able to kill it that easily. So in those situations, I think it's very hard to actually just use these heroes. But in private matchmaking, it's quite the opposite.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to see that balanced out a little bit more. I don't think it's, necessarily a deal breaker, but it would be nice just to see the cards work a little bit more evenly around the board. But it is nice to see, like, even with these custom matches right now, like, taking out that boss as quick as you did was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So good job, well played. Do you want to finish anything up? Oh yeah, let me hit the Axe Value mode, of course.
It's such a great
my favorite
mode.
in the game.
Yeah, same here.
Vesper.
Ooh, Rocket Gunners. I like that.
Yeah,
pick.
the Gunners go crazy. They've been struggling
definitely.
a little bit in Stadium, but in custom matches, I've heard they're absolutely insane.
Yeah. Apparently, Rocket Gunner spam is a thing.
I think there's a couple things that come to mind. The first one would be for social features. I'd like to see player profiles and then being able to maybe spectate people's matches. I think for things like tournaments or just even like casual play, I look at other PvP games and like when I can view my opponent's matches live, I think that adds another layer to a social game like this and could help it out a lot. I don't think they have to rush kingdoms. I know that's like a big feature, and I think everybody would like to see that as soon as possible, but I don't think it's something that they have to do right away.
That's true.
And then for gameplay, it's tough. I think I would like to see them focus on more arenas first and fleshing out the game before game modes, because I think having coin farm in Onslaught is good enough for now, at least for the next few months, or even less like the next year for me, honestly. But I can definitely see if people would rather see more game modes sooner. That's just personally how I want to see it.
But that's fair. For me, I also think that social features is really important to get, starting with profiles, then adding friends directly in game, and the private PvP just being there instead of having a code to add it. That seems to be quite old fashioned, I would consider. I don't have anything truly against it, but I think having it directly being done as a friend added, and also have this feature in case if you want to PvP someone who's not your friend, and you could just use the code, but also being able to PvP your friend through directly in friends inbox section like other games have it, that would be pretty cool. And those things, a few quality of life changes in terms of a social game, I would consider, which adds more fun, to say the least. You can actually have fun with your friends, more things to have as cosmetics, I would consider. For an example, you can have profile icons of your favorite Kingdom Rush characters. That would definitely be something people would love to get. And not only that, devs could actually add that into the trophy road and even the leagues, and players could try get it, and that would be pretty fun. But something lately I have been thinking about is definitely having the tournaments in game, a lot similar to tournaments we see in Kingdom Rush. I mean in Clash Royale. Like there is one singular level, you just get 3 choices or 3 losses and you will be out. So there are some amount of losses, you get some good reward, which is going to be exclusive or something like so. It depends on how devs want to implement it. But yes, having those kinds of tournaments, challenges would be quite fun. There could be a barracks only challenge once there are enough barracks in the game, a mage only challenge, something like that always sounds very cool to me to be seen in the game.
You could have, yeah, never. I think what you're saying with the in-game tournaments. I think the game like Monopoly has tournaments for those, like, basically anybody can sign up. It creates different servers to have you run those tournaments. I think that could be this off with that. It can just be casual tournaments that run a couple times a day, and if people want to sign up, then they can sign up.
That's true. Yeah, so but the international server is quite an issue. I would definitely agree there, because in Kingdom Rush Battles itself at the moment, matchmaking is only done according to what region you are from, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair, and I understand that. I think that as they're new to mobile games, and or not new to mobile games, but new to multiplayer games, they have to work out those things over the course of its lifespan. I think for the most part, it's enough for me to like play it, but I can see how they're waiting on adding some of those other features until they flesh that stuff out.
Yeah. Apparently, in my eyes, Vesper is very underrated hero in my eyes, because people usually don't use him. Even as a free-to-play option, Vesper is definitely an amazing, phenomenal choice in my eyes. You can just use him and he works out pretty much well enough if you think about it. So I really love using Vesper. He's not that much used in higher levels, of course, because he's not the best in the meta. But when you're a free-to-play player or you don't have many hero options, Vesper is definitely a go-to hero you would go for, because he can do pretty good in melee, and he can also do very great in when it comes to ranged attacks. So I really like using him, I guess.
Definitely, he's one of my favorite heroes, and I think he's really good in Onslaught. He does struggle in some of the stadium maps. I think that there's sometimes just too much AoE for him to deal with. So that's why I prefer Magnus over him. But I really like him in Onslaught on a few maps. I think there's one Onslaught map, I think it was yesterday's map, where I think he's actually like the best hero on that map.
Well, as we were talking about Onslaught, what are your thoughts on the coin farm event?
I like the coin farm, and I think it's definitely fair for how much you get, especially once you hit Stadium and the bank is 20k.
Yeah.
Man, when you have the Glacial Druids going with the Blizzard booster, look at my towers. I don't have any towers right now.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm starting to think that, like, in custom matches and tournament play, Battle Mecha may be a really good option just for protecting your towers with all the disruption skills that are in the game right now.
Definitely. Okay.
It's tough because I want to move my Railen next to JT, but he's just going to eat her. I think Vesper is also really good for JT specifically.
Yes, definitely. He can actually,
keep his distance.
Apparently, the missiles rocket gunners have are really powerful to kill bosses. It just melts down the bosses in most of the situations.
Yep. I'm just hoping I can actually get some off here, maybe. One more. Yeah!
that was really close.
That was a nice one. Well played.
I'm gonna use this emote.
Yeah, I gotta use it as well.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was actually really fun. I usually love doing these types of videos where I can actually talk with someone and just discuss about the game, talk about what we feel about it, while having just amazing battles together. And yeah, thank you for joining in this episode. I would consider in where we just talk about the game here. It's really fun. And go and check out Dro's channel. I'll link in the description. He has amazing content you can watch. So yes, subscribe to his channel, subscribe to here. And is there anything you would like to tell to everyone watching this video, Dro?
Thank you, man. It was a lot of fun having some more battles. Good luck in the Creator Cup coming up as well. We may see each other, maybe not. We'll see.
Yes.
Otherwise, good luck in your next battles, guys. And we may catch you in the next one.
Keep on watching.